Good morning, and welcome to another ironic introduction to another video. Today I have a few points for why I think you shouldn't stress out about Season 10 Alliance War. I think these are compelling reasons to convince players that you don't need to boycott this Alliance War because there's a lot going on here, and when you take it all as a whole, I think that I can convince you to just at least tank it, jump in, don't place any defenders, and clear your way through if you can, and if you can't, you just say F it, it's not worth spending items or units on. So that said, let me first start off by saying that the rewards weren't updated, and I actually think this is beneficial to the players when I'm talking about just coming in and not doing, not stressing it, right? If the rewards were updated and they were so great that everybody wanted them, then there would be a lot of competition. Everybody would be going super hard on these alliance wars, and then it would be incredibly frustrating because you would have to clear these difficult nodes, these new nodes you're not used to, and you'd be going up against other alliances who are also trying really hard, spending units, trying to get those rewards. But because the rewards are lackluster, there's going to be a lot less effort put in, people, committing subpar champions to this because they'd rather just use their champions to clear content, and you might be able to pick up a win here or there, but at the very least pick up participation rewards. And because of that, with the rewards being not great, you're able to do that. If the rewards were great, you wouldn't be able to come in here and essentially just half-ass it. But that said, the other thing I want to comment is that you don't need to full explore the map. I think that something people forget is that it's okay to just drop a path. Just say, that path is too difficult. They put Nightcrawler on Aegis Heavy Intercept. I don't want to have to deal with that. No one in my alliance is skilled enough to deal with that. F it. We're just going to leave that path alone. And you can do that and still get, let's say you lose, you can still get 80% exploration. And if the other alliance doesn't do something like that, they put like a Rhino there and all you have to do is bring a larger champion, then you are able to clear that path and still contribute to the exploration. But if you don't clear that path, you have an extra person to help clear the rest of the paths. Essentially, you just run a double backup. And so you'll still be able to hit that 80% exploration. Actually, you'll probably be more likely to hit that exploration rather than trying to have someone ram their heads into nodes where they're just dying and then wasting revives, and that's stressful. You could just completely ignore the stressful node. And the other stressful node I know people are talking about is Psychic Thorns. For me, I don't think that node is as stressful if you have the right champion pool for it. I did make a video discussing counterplay to that node, but same thing. You can actually afford to completely ignore Psychic Thorns and completely ignore Aegis Heavy Intercept, except for the boss. Unfortunately, you will have to learn some counterplay there just to get past those parts. But then, you're not dealing with the node 3 times, you're only dealing with it once. And once with a group of 3 people minimum, maybe 4 if you distribute it differently. So if you all go in, you should be able to at least hammer it down together. Especially with the tips and tricks people are putting out there. I put my own tips and tricks videos out there. But in the conversation of talking about how you don't have to full explore this map, I want to talk about how the junctions are changed, right? So before, you were locked into your side of the map and it wasn't like you could conveniently move over. Well, the thing is, let's say you completely ignore this Aegis Heavy Intercept path here, and you completely ignore this Psychic Thorns path here, and you have those 2 players move down other path routes. Well, everybody is forced to re-centralize here and then redistribute accordingly. So that means that those 2 players could then continue on to this path here, as well as this path up here, right? And you would be able to do that, and you would only be taking the loss of these 8 nodes. Thus, you would still get your 80% exploration. And because of this junction meetup where you can go from here to here and from here to here and then distribute accordingly, I think that these frustrating nodes are something you should take with good practice. So what I would do is, 1, learn what champions you need to bring to Psychic Thorns and then handle that accordingly, and then have 1 person each war just attempt the Aegis Heavy Intercept nodes, and if they can't do it, they can't. You don't pressure them to revive. It's good practice for them because I don't think that node is going anywhere, and if they can do it, awesome. You clear nodes, you get more exploration, and good for you as a whole. Yeah, that's where I'm at there. And then my final point is that in their forum post discussing the Alliance War rewards, they specifically talk about they specifically mention that they are going to update the rewards in season 11. They specifically state that, let me pull it up here really quick. Yes, here we go. So let me pull this up here. This is the forum post, and they say, what about rewards? A rewards update is coming, but will coincide with the release of Defense Tactics. Defense Tactics is coming next season, so if you're like, it's so frustrating that they release these nodes on a season without a rewards update, sorry, that's Grand Blue Fantasy in the background. I understand where you're coming from, but you could maybe take a season off and just wait for the rewards to come back, or you could take my motto of just coming in and half-assing it. Just come in, don't place any defenders, clear what you can, and get the participation reward. Just for losing, and I'm in a Silver 1 alliance, you get this War Crystal, and you get a handful of loyalty. And I know that's not a lot, but it's still free, right? You're not losing anything in that regard. And more likely, if you do at least partially try, you can probably still get this 80% exploration, as the rest of the nodes are relatively fair, in my opinion. And if you disagree and you have nodes you think are like, hey, this node is incredibly bogus, my alliance can't get past this node, feel free to comment it. I'll look at it, and I'll try to think about counterplay and a rundown of it, and I'll make a video for that too. So that said, those are my reasons for not stressing out about this alliance war. My alliance hasn't stressed out about this alliance war. It's been really great, and that's where I'm at. As always, this video has probably gone on longer than it needs to, but I will always talk to you later.